Hey guys, it's Co-op, and today we're going to be looking at who I think is going to win Genesis 5. I'm going to be using stats from last season to back up my opinions, and all of that has been generously provided by the PG Stats team, so thank you so much to them. I will have a link to everyone on their team in the description. Please follow them. They do amazing work. Also, none of these stats are mine. It is all theirs. They have put in the work for this, so please do not try to credit that to me. So we're going to be looking at the first one, the first set of 4 players who are fighting for a top 8 spot, that being MKLeo and Cosmos and Juddy and Mr. R. Should state before we get started that we're just going off the projected top 32 bracket because it is not only the easiest, but the only plausible one to go over. There's too much variance to go over different possibilities. So MKLeo versus Cosmos. Recently, Cosmos was 6-0'd by Leo at an MSM, but he did get the run back and win 2-0 at the Smash 4 bootcamp. Regardless of that, I think MKLeo is going to come out on top just because of him being the generally stronger player. Juddy versus Mr. R has yet to happen, but I'm going to give the edge to Mr. R. Sadly, if Mr. R does win there, he has losing records against both MKLeo and Cosmos. He is 1-3 against Leo and 0-1 against Cosmos. So I see Leo being the one who comes out of this pool the winner. Next up for the next set of 4 is Dabuz, Zack, Larry, and Esam. Zack might not be attending due to health issues, but we'll be assuming that he will. Regardless, Dabuz is going to take it over him, even though their record is 0-0 because of his commanding dominance over Bayonettas throughout all of the Smash 4 history since her release. I believe his only set losses to Salem and maybe Zack at Aftershock 2016. So we'll say Dabuz will move on from there. Larry versus Esam, they fought a lot last season. It was 3-2 in Larry's favor. I believe Larry is going to end up winning this and also beat Dabuz. He was 1-0 on him last season. If for some reason Esam does take the win over Larry, which I don't think is that far off, he is 4-4 with Dabuz, which is another toss-up. Dabuz actually, if you look at projected brackets, almost any opponent he can face anywhere in this bracket is going to be very tough. So it'll be interesting to see if he can make it through this bracket with all of his killers in his line. Anyway, so Larry will take the second winner's top 8 spot. Going on to the next one, Salem versus Mistake and Void versus Ally. Salem's worst matchup in the game is hands down the Bayonetta Ditto. He's actually 0-2 against Mistake last season. I believe his record is also negative against Captain Zack. So I believe Mistake's going to win here. Void and Ally are 2-2 as of last season, but at PAX South this past weekend, Void actually got a win on Ally. Regardless if he had won that set or not, I would have my vote for Void to be moving on, and I also believe that Void will beat Mistake even though the record last season was 0-1, solely because Mistake has fallen off since last season. I don't mean to say he is not a top 20 threat or even close to top 10, which I think he is. The peak time of his play has passed a little bit. So Void will claim the third spot in top 8 for my prediction. Now we have the last group to be fighting for top 8, Nairo versus Samsura and Tweak versus Elegant. Samsura has backed down from the event because he has classes, so we can just assume that whoever Nairo is fighting, he will most likely win against. Tweak versus Elegant has yet to happen, and we know that Elegant is very good against Cloud, but I'm going to hand it to Tweak. Should be noted though, if Elegant does win, he's actually 1-0 over Nairo last season, I believe picking up that win at the 2GG Championship. So we could see him, along with Cosmos, being underdogs that make their way into winner's top 8. Regardless, I think Tweak will win. I think the set between Tweak and Nairo, while their record is even at 3-3, I believe it's going to be Tweak. It could be changed up depending on who gets more momentum in that winner's round 1 match, but I'll still put my money on Tweak. Let's go down into losers to just see who else is going to round out our top 8. I believe Dabuz is going to be losing to Larry in round 2. So we're going to see him taking the first loser's spot over Elegant if Elegant loses in round 1. Next up, instead of Mistake down here in loser's bracket, I actually have Salem. So I believe Salem will be the one to secure the second spot. But I would not be surprised if Ally beat him or Juddy did if Juddy wins his first round match and loses the second one. Next up, you're going to have Nairo down here against Esam is predicted, or even Captain Zack, and I still think Nairo will come out ahead. The last person to secure top 8, I believe, is going to be Cosmos. He does have Mr. R ahead of him and most likely Mistake, but I believe he can do it. So looking at our top 8 for what I have predicted is MKLeo versus Larry Lure, and Void versus Tweak in winners, and then Dabuz versus Salem, and Nairo versus Cosmos. Looking at winners, Leo is actually 4-0 on Larry, so I think this is a pretty easy prediction to say that MKLeo will take that. The second match is going to be Void versus Tweak, who is 4-0 against Tweak. Another one where I think it's pretty easy to claim who will win if it gets to this point. Now we go into losers. Dabuz is actually 1-1 on Salem, but with how strong he is in the matchup, especially with Salem coming from losers, I think Dabuz will be able to handle himself and win this set. That leaves our last starting losers round match, which is Nairo versus Cosmos, which has yet to happen in bracket, but I would put my money on Nairo. For our losers quarters matches, you have Dabuz versus Tweak and Nairo versus Larry. Tweak is actually 3-0 on Dabuz, so I think this is a pretty clear win for him to move forward. And Nairo is 2-1 on Larry, who also picked up another set at the Smash 4 bootcamp. Again, Nairo will move forward. That leaves us with our winners finals and our losers semis. Winners finals, we have Leo versus Void, which is actually 1-1. And I'm going to make the crazy prediction here that if this set happens, that Void will be the winner, even though Leo is the #1 seed for a reason, and he is probably the safest pick on who will make it to grand finals / win the event. I think the pick here is Void. Also, after that, you have Nairo versus Tweak's rematch, which again, I'm going to hand to Tweak, but I will concede that you can probably call it in the moment of who has more momentum in their sets prior to this one. So then you have Tweak versus Leo, which is 2-1 from last season, and we know that Tweak is MK Leo's demon. So, as you can probably expect my opinion is going to be, is Tweak beating Leo, and we have a repeat of winners semis, which is Tweak versus Void, with Void's record still being 4-0 against him, and Void will take the event in the grand finals set 1. While I think there is a lot that can change, and I don't think my bracket is going to be that correct, if correct at all, because of how inconsistent the game of Smash 4 is, I think my biggest pick to win this event is going between Void, MK Leo, and whoever comes out of the spot of Tweak, Nairo, and Elegant. Even though I think Elegant has a lot lower chance of making it out versus Nairo and Tweak, him and Cosmos and Mistake are all the kind of sleeper picks, but no one's going to be very surprised if they do well. They could all manage a top 3 or higher finish. The players that I don't think are really going to be making any waves would be Captain Zack, Sam, and Mr. R. So that wraps up who I think is going to win Genesis 5 and the people I think are sleeper picks and the others who I don't really think have a chance. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Let me know how you think the event's going to go. I know this is going to be posted on Thursday and the event is within 1 day. I implore you not to just watch only Smash 4, but also Melee. Both of these tournaments are going to be huge in defining what's coming in each of their next seasons. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.